Mireille Enos plays Lily in the AMC comedy Lucky Hank. I'm Matt Noble of Gold Derby. And look, the show Mireille's called Lucky Hank. How lucky is Lily?
Oh, that's a great question. I think Lily is very lucky. Every life has its little bumpy ups and downs, but she's with a partner that I actually think is the right person to be with. She has this beautiful daughter. She had this lovely life in a sweet town in Pennsylvania. She's intelligent. She's healthy. I think she's very lucky, and she's just at this tipping point, this moment. Both she and Hank are at this moment where they just need to reevaluate what path they want to step onto next, what the next chapter is.
So you think she's very lucky? Does she, do you think, appreciate how lucky she is? Because I think often in life we don't appreciate the luck in our lives.
Yes, I actually think sometimes to a fault. Like I think there's a lot of cynicism in the show, right? Cynicism is funny. And I felt clearly from the very beginning that actually Lily is not a cynical person. She reaches for gratitude. She reaches for optimism. And actually her life has been humming along in a lovely way. And it's part of why she hasn't pursued a better job or actually picked them up and tried to get them to New York or all of these different things, because she knows that actually she's got it really good. And then the things that happen in the pilot episode just start her wheels turning about what else, what more.
Is that, do you think, why, like, is that one of the reasons why Lily and Hank are such a good couple, is because, like, he brings the cynicism, she brings a bit more of the positivity or optimism?
Yes, I think that was the big attraction. You know, they've been together probably 25 plus years. I think that was one of the big draw for them, is that he's like very intelligent and really committed to like honesty and the truth. That's attractive. She is equally smart and kind of I think she sees the world clearly, but she reaches for optimism. And so they were a good balance for each other. I think Lily helped to like lift him. And I think Hank helped to like ground her. And I also think he just made her laugh, you know, like he's a funny guy who, when we meet him, happens to be having a particularly kind of disappointed moment in his life.
I think something really interesting about both of them as characters in different ways, they are both fairly honest. It's a fairly honest marriage and relationship, but there's also a bit of avoidance as well, where they avoid talking about things. How do you balance that when playing Lily, of that sort of being honest, like honest but avoiding at the same time?
Yeah, I think their relationship is based in honesty. Like 90% of the time, they say what they mean. And I think the other time, it's not that they're not saying what they mean. They just choose not to say it. So it's like, I'm either going to say the truth or I'm just going to like, because it's too hard. It's too boring. It's too repetitive. It's too, you know, whatever it is. And over the course of this season, you see those silences getting to be more and more kind of profound. The things that they're leaving out are the more important things. You know, it's not just like, oh, why didn't you pick up that thing I needed you to pick up? You know, it starts being about crucial elements of their relationship that they're not dealing with. And then that's the tipping point, right? When they have to actually like make a change.
Yeah, and it might progress, but like I did like when there was something she hadn't told Hank, that when it sort of gets found out, or like it sort of is she does sort of confess or reveal to Hank what
Mhm.
happened. It didn't become a big fight scene, but there you could see there was still a real like honesty and empathy between the two, which was really nice.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
spoke about the importance of those moments of silence. What
Mm.
like how do you as an actor approach those moments where sometimes more is said in what's not said?
Mm. I think relationships that are long, there's a lot of like silent understanding, and so we just had to do like the shorthand version of like build a 25-year relationship. Luckily, Bob and I are both in long marriages, so we have something to draw upon, and it's all about just filling the silences with something, right? And obviously we have the script and we can talk about it, so we as the actors, we know what is in that silence, and so then we can play that we know what would be said, we know what's not being said, and then you just have to have a point of view about that. Are you disappointed that they're not saying it? Are you relieved? Are you whatever? Are you, you know, whatever you are.
Yeah. We may touch on this a bit already, but how would you describe the Lily Hank relationship?
um I think long relationships go through these up and down moments, you know, where um, they they've been running on autopilot, and they just need like um, if they're going to get better, often things have to get worse before they get better, and that's where they are right now. Um, Lily is learning to be slightly more selfish, which in this case I think is a good thing.
Yeah. Like do acting relationships also have to get better before they get worse? Like
Or worse before they get better.
well, worse.
Not
Sorry, yeah, worse. Yeah, hopefully, hopefully worse before they get better. Yes, thanks, thanks. Right.
Not always. No.
Okay.
I mean, you know, you definitely hear about actors who have a hard time working together, and then, you know, they either figure it out or they don't. But luckily, that was not the case. Bob is wonderful to work with. I think we both came into this with a healthy respect for each other's work, and we're both kind of meticulous, and so that part of this job was easy.
Yeah. And what is it like working with Bob, and particularly like when you're got this scene together? How do you serve each other and sort of build on what each other is offering?
Bob always arrives with lots of ideas about how he thinks the scene should go. I often do as well. So first step is like, are we in the same world, or is there slightly different, and working that out. But mostly we would step into a scene with a very kind of similar perspective, and then it's just about being super present for the other person, especially at the beginning of an acting relationship. You have to just approach it with an incredible curiosity, because you're learning who that person is, and most of the time that works well for any scene is to be curious, and to find things that you love about a person, or find, you know, whatever, or lean into something that's annoying, whatever it is. Yeah, you show up with a clear point of view, and then you're really curious.
Mm. Did you ever in a scene with Bob find something unexpected?
Well, I mean, Bob has this incredible comedy brain, and his sketch comedy brain, his mind never stops working, and often he not in like super heavy scenes, but in the lighter scenes, he will often say things that are not in the script. And of course, I don't improv is not as comfortable for me. I really appreciate a script. So it was great. It was great, but I would just have to be like, hold on, hold on. I see those wheels. Oh my goodness. What's going to come out of his mouth?
Oh, I love it.
It was good.
Do you have a favorite scene in the series?
Oh, favorite scene in the series. There's so many, but two scenes with Bob that I love is the last scene of episode 3, where he's been with Meg and he comes home and he finds Lily in bed reading, and they have a conversation, and she's not mad that he was in in Meg's apartment with her drunk. She's not mad about that. She's mad that he lied to her about the classes. I just think it's such a wonderful kind of window into who they are as people. And I also love the last scene of episode, my last scene of episode 6, not Hank's, where they're eating the Chinese food. and Lily is talking and eating about her kid's marriage. And yeah, I love those two scenes.
Yeah, they reveal a lot about who Lily is and what makes her tick, and what a scene that I thought was great in the recent episode is one actually not with Bob, even though scenes with Bob are good.
Divorcing a stranger.
Yes.
Yes. Oh no, that's a very special scene. Yeah. That was the very last scene that I shot of the whole series.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because we would shoot in blocks of 2 episodes, so that was the very last scene of the last day of shooting. That's a very special scene. Yeah.
And what like there's a few gear shifts in that scene. It's like like as Lily calibrates what's happening, like I'm in this new situation that I wasn't expecting or being in, and then she just really owns it and really takes it.
Yeah.
How did you approach that scene, and what was fun about that?
Well, it's such a funny concept, and I've never ever seen it. I mean, in the history of people writing stories, I've never seen that scenario. So immediately it was like, oh my goodness, so smart and new, and like you said, so many different gear shifts. And so I was like, I just have to stay in each moment, right? I just have to stay in, like, now it's funny, and now it's like, but the main tricky thing was, where does it click over into it being her saying her truth actually about Hank? Like, where does that, and of course we shot it many times in different, and so that moment would move slightly in different takes. It was like, it was a little earlier, it was a little later, and just mostly just allowing it to be a surprise to her too, that's not what she thought she was doing when she started talking, and then then it's revealed that that's what's happening.
Yeah. No, it's really, and I don't know, probably, like, I'm just thinking Lily's maybe funniest scene too, even though there is that real heart and like that real profound landing of it, like it gets real, but
it gets really real. But I think it is her funniest scene. Although the scene in the storeroom in the episode before, where she's with her daughter and husband, where she thinks she's being the marriage counselor, and then it turns. That was pretty fun to do it well.
Oh, that's good. No, I agree. As an actress, like, what's the most important thing for you when you approach a role?
Oh, that's hard. There's lots of important things. I mean, I know when looking for each new project, I always like to kind of not be repeating something that I've done before. Probably the most important thing is always like finding what what the truth is, like the humanity and truth for that person. And like there's lots of different kinds of plays you can do, right? There's farce and there's dramas and so whatever the tone of the play you're making, how do you use that tone as a vehicle for whatever their truth is, their humanity, how to let that out. Even like when I was doing Hannah and I was, playing this like super spy, like how to let her humanity show through. And in this, which is much, much lighter, maybe it comes down to like opposites, right? In the really heavy stories that I've told, how to find moments of showing their like their hope and whatever, their humanity, and then in this, which in general is much lighter tone, how to find ways of grounding Lily so that she feels like a real person.
Yeah. Can you think of a particular like moment where you made a choice that did that, like that grounded her?
Yeah. Episode 5 was really a wonderful opportunity to do that. Suddenly we're in an episode where the stakes are really big for her, and even in front of a whole table full of witnesses, she's unwilling to let it go. And she just has to stand up for herself. Jude Wang, the director of that episode, I think did such an incredible job walking that tightrope, because even after that big climax, Hank at the table, big climax, and he leaves the room, then the goodbyes, she still managed to make them funny. Shannon going by with all the coats piled up on her and everything. Yeah,
no, it's really good. Right, thank you so much for talking to us today about Lucky Hank. All the best of luck with the Emmy Awards for Lucky Hank. You got nominated for, I believe, your last AMC series, The Killing.
Yeah, I was nominated for Killing. Yeah.
Maybe AMC is your good luck charm at the Emmy Awards.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
And people watching this interview can go to goldderby.com to watch other interviews with Emmy contenders and make your awards predictions. But Mireille, thanks so much. It's been lovely to talk.
Thank you. Likewise.